Why is it that a bunch of carrots, this simple root that you can just pull from the ground without a lot of complexity or industry, costs more than a package of Twinkies? Well, the reason is that the government is helping the Twinkie makers, and it's not doing very much for the carrot growers.
Obesity and its health-related issues are on the rise in our country, and many people point to the large volume of processed foods as contributing to this problem. The foods that we see on the store shelves are largely determined by the policies that are adopted here through the Farm Bill, an over $950 billion bill passed every 5 years that has a significant national impact on food production. Under the Farm Bill, government funding is provided to encourage farmers to grow commodity crops, namely corn and soy, which are used heavily in the production of highly processed foods. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, oversees the implementation of the Farm Bill.
The USDA is often implementing programs that encourage production of corn and soybean and other products that primarily are used for processing. They're processed into microwave dinners and other foods of sort of marginal health benefits. For many kids, low-income communities, for example, who are eating breakfast and lunch as part of the National School Lunch Program, but many of the food, which is implemented by USDA, but many of the foods that are prepared for that school lunch program are surplus commodities, which were paid through the Farm Bill. And so that's a classic example of a situation where we are promoting malnutrition through our subsidy program under the Farm Bill.
Is the government encouraging unhealthy eating? To get a better understanding of the issue, let's take a look at the history of the Farm Bill. The Farm Bill was passed in 1933 to help family farmers during the Great Depression stay afloat when crop prices dropped substantially. It was designed to save small farms in America and guarantee the country a steady food supply. However, during the 1970s, the farming landscape transformed from mainly small family-owned farms into large-scale agribusiness operations. This shift came about when President Nixon appointed Earl Butz to serve as his Secretary of Agriculture. Secretary Butz called on American farmers to get big or get out, proclaiming that farming is now big business, focusing on maximizing yields of commodity crops. Since then, farmers who opt to produce other crops such as fruits and vegetables receive little to no assistance from the federal government. Small family farmers such as Michael Tabor from Licking Creek Bent Farm, who sells at the Adams Morgan Farmers Market, had a tough choice to make: grow commodity crops with the government's financial support, or choose to grow fruits and vegetables with no government support.
I thought there were too many. You could have a lot more to say if you were growing your own crops and selling them directly to the community. So I decided, to do what pleases you and makes you want to work all the hours we work, and feeding people, especially wide disparity in terms of incomes, really pleased me the most. So I got into growing vegetables and fruit.
Currently, the farming industry is dominated by large-scale agribusinesses, which have been receiving significant criticism over the environmental damage and possible health impacts they may cause through the heavy use of pesticides and synthetic fertilizers, as well as their adoption of GMO technology.
The ultimate loser will be our family farmers.
Corporations have corrupted the system to the point where big agribusiness has put dangerous, unhealthy food on the counters in grocery stores across America, and it ends up on our tables. The small farmer, bottom line, is getting kicked off the land, and rich farmers are reaping the huge profits.
However, today there's also a growing counter-movement developing: the return of local family farms and a rise in local farmers' markets, committed to sustainable agricultural practices and providing nutritious foods to local communities. Since 1994, the number of local farmers markets in the country increased to over 8,000. Local farmers like Michael Tabor sell their fruits and vegetables at the Adams Morgan Farmers Market, which just recently celebrated its 40th year. In Montgomery County, Maryland, a new farmer pilot project was set up in 2012 to provide new farmers the land and resources they need to grow sustainable local foods. Mark Mills is one of those farmers.
I've been a chef most of my adult life, and I've always been fascinated by the process of where the food comes from before it actually reaches the table. And I just have been an avid gardener, and I've been fascinated by it. So when the opportunity came along to actually see the next step in my career and to connect the dots, I jumped at it. I think programs like this are critical because it gives not only support for the local farmers and the farmland that they farm, it also provides people with the opportunity to pursue new career paths.
It's important economically because the dollars stay locally. It's important environmentally because obviously it's a lot better for you to get your apples at Lewis's or Homestead Farm or Butler's Orchard instead of having them flown in from Washington State.
Students at AU don't have to venture far to find a local farmers market. On Wednesdays during the fall semester, there's a farmers market set up right in the quad on main campus. A fresh selection of local foods is brought to campus from Agora Farms in Pennsylvania.
I think it's a great thing that they have here. I think it's really good that they're presenting all this stuff as organic and stuff. And I think that, with all the processed stuff out there, it's pretty important to, be health conscious. I'm not the most health conscious person, but as you can see, I'm trying to, get better at that.
I think it's a lot more convenient than going to Whole Foods or to Safeway, and I love fresh fruits and vegetables. So having it right on campus is a fantastic way of getting what I love.
It's like a different food option, I guess, as opposed to getting something in MGC. You can pick something fresh, more like a snack that's at least somewhat natural, more natural than something you get inside.
As consumers become more conscious about the impact food has on our health and the environment, more and more people are voting with their forks for better food options. During the 2008 Farm Bill cycle, for the first time, the government invested money, a total of $3.3 billion, into fruit and vegetable farm programs, which may be a positive sign of more Farm Bill reforms in the future. The newest version of the Farm Bill is currently being worked on in Congress. For ATV, this is Monika Fidler.